So I just finished playing Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag for the first time, and I can't understand why Ubisoft would ever veer away from this formula. It's the perfect blueprint for an open world action adventure game with a ton of RPG elements. It's so good. But right after playing this magnum opus of a game, I decided to punch myself in the balls and dive straight into the Skull and Bones demo. If you're keen to find out what that experience was like, stick around to the end of the video and I'm going to break it down no filter. So if you're a fan of open world or RPG games in general, and you maybe figured that the Assassin's Creed franchise isn't an RPG at all, then maybe with this video I can convince you to give it a shot, because it's really worth it. And if you're a fan of the RPG genre in general, you've come to the right place, because all of my content revolves around RPGs. I do helpful guides, full playthroughs, even good old-fashioned reviews. I've also recently taken to producing reshades for everything I play on the stream, links for all that stuff down below. So if that sounds good to you, and you're slowly nodding right now and thinking, damn, this guy's gonna hook me up with the goods, you know exactly what to do. I'm currently doing a full playthrough of the Assassin's Creed series on my Twitch channel, and after making my way through Assassin's Creed 1, 2, Brotherhood, Revelations, 3, and Liberation, Assassin's Creed 4 is hit very differently, and in this video I'm going to try my best to explain why that is. I think right away, overall Black Flag feels like the first Assassin's Creed to actually be what the developers have always intended the franchise to be. It just feels right. The reason I say this is because it finally feels like the culmination of well-crafted and balanced systems that have now been iterated upon to the point of creating an amazing harmony that the previous titles in the series, I felt, all lacked to varying degrees. So let's start breaking this down. Firstly, the camera now feels very fluid. The way it moves from side to side when you're in travel mode and sailing the jackdaw. It positions itself perfectly, ensuring never to obstruct your view while sailing. The tracking shot and distance while idle and the slow pullback to when you're free running have that just right feel about them. Aiming the jackdaw's cannons, fire barrels, mortar rounds, and chain shots all have a nice transition, just the right amount of time to get the task complete before it moves right back into sailing mode and you're behind the wheel. Switching to travel mode from there pulls the camera right back to miles behind the ship, and that gives you amazing sea views. Now when you combine that awesome camera with what has been the beating heart of all Assassin's Creed games to this point, which is the free running and climbing, and you now have the perfect combination of ingredients that most gamers will just sum up by simply saying, it just feels awesome to play. This is easily the smoothest execution of the free running so far in the franchise, and while it's still not perfect, climbing structures to their pinnacles, slipping through multiple V-shaped trees and branches, hopping over rocks and pedestals, or leaping from rooftop to rooftop while chasing down a sea shanty feels amazing. It finally just flows, and it's mostly jank free. Now the voice actors chosen for the main cast of characters is also spot on. It's difficult to find fault in any of them. Edward Kenway doesn't sound overacted at all, which I think would have been very easy to do given that he's such a rambunctiously written character.
You don't mean to abscond with my ship, do you?
I'm Duncan. What's your name, friend?
Steed Bonnet.
Well, Mr. Bonnet, let this stay twixt us. But I'm on a secret errand for His Majesty the King, God save him, and I must get to Havana with speed.
Ah, that is a relief, sir. Havana is also my destination. Our ways lie together.
Natural allies, then.
Even Nolan North, who is the voice actor for Desmond Miles, does a stellar job of the monologue-style diary entries found in the game's outside the Animus segments, which, by the way, I highly recommend every player to spend time on uncovering, because there's some really juicy story there, and also some absolutely hilarious faux marketing material read out like an ad spot by an Abstergo employee that is clearly unfamiliar with the franchise. It's really good stuff. Staying with the audio just for a second, hearing a battery of cannon fire or the cracking of mortar shells in the distance combined with the creaking and groaning of the jackdaw's masts and your crew bursting into a random sea shanty as you sail on the open sea is peak salty pirate immersion. It's so good. Now this is the first Assassin's Creed that takes place in a large open piece of the world, specifically the West Indies. That's south of the east coast of the United States. Up until this point in the series, the games have all been played in smaller areas tacked together by very slim corridor-like choke points or fast travel points. But Black Flag opts for a truly open world and utilizes a very clever use of fog and weather on the open sea to hide all of the loading going on when you're sailing towards your destination. Something worth noting here is the transition from your ship to an island. Here's how that goes. You sail right up to the island, let go of the wheel, free run along the deck up and off the bowsprit, leap off onto the sand, ready to start searching for treasure. It's not a cutscene, there's no fade to black, it's all one smooth, playable and interactable sequence. Pay attention, Bethesda. This is what we like. I know it's complicated, but this game is 10 years old. Get your shit together. Alright, calm down, let's bring it back down and focus. There are collectibles all over the map in the form of animus fragments, treasure chests, sea shanties, which by the way unlock new shanties for your crew to sing while you're sailing around, and even X marks the spot style hidden treasure chests that contain crucial plans for upgrading your ship to its full potential. There are also animals to hunt which yield pelts that are used to beef up Edward's capabilities, from health upgrades, ammo capacity increases, and even brand new outfits to wear. And if you're thinking, damn, there's a lot to this game, just wait, because there's more. You can dive on shipwrecks for even more treasure and even more upgrade plans for your ship. And it isn't some crappy little mini game either. It's actually a well executed underwater mini adventure that involves diving down, holding your breath while seeking out lost animus fragments and treasure chests. You'll be avoiding confrontations with sharks, jellyfish and moray eels, and watching for dangerous currents that are hell-bent on smashing you into shelves of spiky urchins. There are even hollowed out rocky underwater tunnels that lead to secret pirate hideouts containing, well, even more treasure. So that has to be it, right? There's nothing else. There can't be any more. Wrong. You can fish in this game. It's another little mini game. It's harpooning actually, not fishing, but still. It's a very well executed and fun little mini game that once again gives you access to items that will further upgrade Edward or the Jackdaw's capabilities. Alright, we're done with the mini games. Nope, there's more. Upon subduing an enemy ship, you are presented with a choice. Use the ship's materials and cargo to repair any damage sustained during the battle, lower your pirate bounty level, or you can add that ship to your own personal fleet. Yep, you can build a fleet of ships, and then you can use that fleet to clear open ocean trade routes and earn you some cash by undertaking trade missions that take real world time to complete, effectively earning you cash while you're offline. Again, I know what you're thinking. This has to be some crappy tacked on side thing with little to no thought behind it. But again, you'd be wrong. There are 5 ship types, each with varying amounts of firepower, speed, and cargo space. Trade routes need to be cleared to provide safe passage for whatever trade mission you want to embark on. Clearing trade routes is a nice little turn-based battle that involves pitting 3 of your chosen ships up against any number of opposing ships, but this too has depth to it. Gunboats are extremely fast but only have a little firepower. However, 3 of them might act 2 times before any other ship even gets a turn, and they might just be able to kill anything that's in their path. And on the other end of the spectrum, a heavily armed and armored man of war may only get 1 turn per round, but it's pretty much certain that whatever it hits is sinking. To take this even further, it's my understanding that this was actually a phone app back when this game first launched. So clearing trade routes, managing your fleet, and sending out trade missions could all be done while you were on the run. Awesome. Genius. I completely missed it. I don't even know if that still exists, by the way. Let me know in the comments down below if it does. Have I mentioned the fact that there are 3 enormous cities in this game, packed with assassin's contracts, the best tale and eavesdropping quest to date? Oh, and there's a pirate hideout, which you can also upgrade with aesthetic overhauls, art pieces, and furniture. Oh, and there's a little puzzle game involving solving Mayan stele riddles that unlock an ultimate set of gear that makes Edward immune to gunfire. Okay, so let's take stock for a second. We have great camera work, the free running system is the best it's ever been, the audio and voice acting is phenomenal, the open world is expertly executed, there are collectibles and activities to pursue all over the world, there are well-crafted minigames that are all tied into upgrading Edward and the Jackdaw. There has to be something massively wrong to balance this all out. There has to be. But there just isn't. There's nothing. Even the UI, after that absolute disappointment that was Assassin's Creed 3, the UI in Assassin's Creed 4 is vastly improved. What about outside the Animus? Has the story gone to crap out there? Actually, no. For the first time in the series, we're introduced to Abstergo Industries, and through some hacking of computers and conversations, we discover what's really been happening. So as far as that's concerned, that's good too. Hang on a minute, I hear you thinking, wait, you haven't talked about the combat at all yet. I left this one for last because personally I find it the most enjoyable aspect of the game. There's two types of combat in Assassin's Creed 4. I'll just call them Edward combat and ship combat. Somehow, Ubisoft have managed to make them both amazing. Edward is this weird triforce of fighter, brawler and assassin all in one. The game captures the brutality one might expect of a pirate, the elegance of an assassin, and then the straight up bare knuckle Fight Club style boxer, all lovingly rolled into one combat system. You can casually walk up to a group of guards, pull off a double assassination, whip out your swords, stab another couple of guys right in the back, then toss your swords down and start punching and kicking your way through the rest of them. You can even weave in pistol shots to your combos. It really is incredible how deep this system has become since Assassin's Creed 1. Now the ship combat is without question my favorite part of this game. It is easily the standout feature. Your ship, the Jackdaw, over the course of the game starts off quite humble, but with some effort and dedication to treasure hunting and acquiring wealth, will become a floating fortress of cannons, mortars, fire barrels, and stunning chain shots. The ship feels heavy to control in the waves, but nimble enough to navigate in a skirmish of 4 ships or more. Volleys of cannon fire blasting holes in the sides of opposing ships exposes weak points that can then be targeted by aimed shots of your swivel cannons. Fleeing opponents can be caught with long-distance mortar shots that explode above them, raining fiery terror down upon their cowardly acts. And if you somehow mysteriously find yourself with an extraordinarily high pirate bounty level, and you're currently being chased by the Popo, a few well-placed fire barrels off the back will help sort that problem right out. So you see, this game really has no weak points. The story's great, it plays out really nicely, even if you move directly from story quest to story quest. There's a vibrant cast of characters that are written really well. This Ubisoft was not scared of dropping F-bombs and even C-bombs, or showing cleavage and attractive female characters. It does a great job at making you feel something for even the saltiest of sea dogs. Assassin's Creed Black Flag has more stuff in it than many RPGs, so I would definitely like to say that this is an open world action adventure / RPG, and it's absolutely worth your time to experience if you're a fan of RPGs. It's more than 10 years old now, but it's very clear that this is the definitive pirate game to beat. So where do we go from here? Well, to Skull and Bones, of course, the only quadruple A game known to mankind. Ubisoft's very own brand new IP that we've all been waiting for 10 years since Black Flag. There's no way they can get this wrong. They have the perfect blueprint, they have the experience, clearly they've got the capabilities, the technical know-how, they've got the systems iterated upon a billion times over the last 10 years. Surely this has to be a home run. Well, actually, after an incredible introduction cutscene, I was treated to a pretty cool but hectic and arcadey feeling ship battle. I thought it was okay. Things are looking up. Maybe people got this wrong. I did enjoy the way it felt. It wasn't as solid or as slow and impactful as Black Flag, but things are looking up. Unfortunately, that's where everything goes downhill. After that opening battle and the cutscenes that followed, I was assaulted by potentially the worst voice acting I've heard in a game in a very long time.
Fate's thrown you a twist, friend. Freeman's luck must truly be on your side. We survived the battle, and now you arrive to help through the Dow. I would say our fortune's on the rise, no?
This was a huge letdown. Don't forget, I just finished playing Black Flag. And I'm not talking about I just finished it yesterday or a couple days ago and now I'm trying Skull and Bones. I mean, an hour ago I was playing Black Flag and now I'm playing Skull and Bones. The difference in the quality of voice acting is it's so different in the worst of ways. And as I was about to learn, this dynamic duo was my new crew. Yeah, nah. I would bet a bunch of people who paid cash money for this game already have noped out right at this point that I'm talking about. Alright, so let's swallow the fact that they don't sound very good. What about how they look? Are they giving me main character energy? Well, we have what appears to be an ethnically ambiguous woman in her late 20s, 30s that doesn't look at all like a pirate. Her skin and complexion is perfect, she's got all of her teeth, and she's wearing a full face of makeup. Oh, but hang on, she does have the obligatory skull and crossbones tattoo. Oh, I get it now. So hang on, let's take stock here. They don't sound like main characters, and they definitely don't look like main characters. This feels off, right at the start. It feels cheap. Something was overlooked here. Something feels very forced about this. This can't be the quadruple A game that I was promised. The main cast of pirates in Black Flag are all rugged, filthy, scarred, drunken, teeth missing, a bunch of salty sea dogs, slurring words, dropping F-bombs, chuckling, clanking mugs together. They're funny. These two are what I like to lovingly call nobodies. They're Timmies. Nothing but background filler characters with no distinguishing features and crappy voice acting and poorly written dialogue. The kind of characters you just run straight past in a city because you know they have nothing interesting to say. But these are my main crew. It's just giving me low budget indie vibes, and in saying that I feel like I'm doing indie games dirty. The stark contrast of Black Flag's voice acting compared to Skull and Bones could not be more obvious. Anyway, I'm gonna force myself to continue. What's this game actually about? What's it like to play? Okay, here we go. Character create. It's basic and it doesn't at all instill me with hope that things were going to get any better. There are so many games that have a much wider variety of possibilities for character creations, but Skull and Bones character creator falls into the category of what I like to also call, you can only make a Timmy. At this point I'm convinced something is going on here. All I can do is make someone that basically looks like you and me. We are Timmies. Normal and very average everyday people. Boring. If you're gonna have a character creator, open it up so many more possibilities are included. You wanna be a Timmy? Be a Timmy. You wanna be a pretty lass? Be a pretty lass. You wanna be a dashingly handsome lad? Go and do that. You wanna be a hideously disfigured monster? Hey man, more power to you. But give us the flexibility to do it. Other games have been doing this for the last 10 years. So not only is the quadruple A comment cocky and arrogant, the opening sequence and character creator is at best on par with MMO games released 10 years ago. And quite frankly, it's doing a great disservice to other developers actually putting in phenomenal amounts of work to go above and beyond. How about the game? It must be something like Black Flag, right? Wrong. It most definitely feels like I'm playing an MMO. Within the first few minutes, I met other players. One who immediately started firing at my tiny boat, despite doing no damage as I was thankfully not flagged for PvP, and many more going about their business. Sailing around on my little boat, however, felt quite cool. The game overall has an aesthetically pleasing vibe to it, even if it is a departure from the gritty realism we were all craving so badly from a pirate on the open seas kind of game from Ubisoft. What about the game's story? Must be fantastic. Nope, there's nothing about the story in the first few hours that grabbed me or compelled me to care about any character I met at all. It's all stuff we've seen hundreds of times in every MMO we've ever played. I'll sum it up for you. Talk to this guy. He tells me I need 3 of these and 2 of those in order to craft this upgrade for my ship. Rinse and repeat, over and over and over, and that's it. What about this is quadruple A? We've gone from no loading screen transitions from boat to shoreline in Black Flag to loading screens. We've gone from likable and even lovable main characters bursting with personality in Black Flag to controlling a mute Timmy-looking main character and an annoyingly terribly voice-acted supporting cast. We've gone from a flowing storyline, a feeling of growth and forward momentum carefully woven into a truly free open-world gameplay in Black Flag, to a highly restricted zone-based MMO-style gameplay filled with boring fetch quests right from the get-go in Skull and Bones. And guys, that's really it. Do I really need to continue? Ubisoft, you didn't just drop the ball. You tried to show off your self-proclaimed expert juggling skills, but instead you fumbled, slipped up on a banana peel, then drop-kicked the ball at high speed directly into all of our proverbial nuts. If you're looking for something absolutely mind-numbing to do, and you simply must scratch that pirate itch, I personally still wouldn't recommend it. There are other games that deserve your support much more than a self-proclaimed AAAA title. That's $70 USD. Ubisoft has a lot of ground to gain after this. Let's hope the upcoming Assassin's Creed Shadows is a home run. They definitely need it. Guys, thank you so much to each and every one of you that supports me here on this channel and in my Patreon and Twitch streams. You guys are absolutely awesome. I'm going to take a moment here to share that appreciation with each and every one of you. You should find your online handle listed here somewhere, and I'll continue to shout out each and every one of you guys in all of my videos from here on out. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this more analytical and opinion style video. I like to do more of these in the future, so if you have some ideas, feel free to comment down below. Until next time, you're all legends. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you soon.